Remember when they hate, didn't think we make it. Now they break their neck just to look at me. Remember when I called you, and you didn't fall through. Now you hate yourself and look at me, look at me. You made it.
And what up, what up, what up? What's good with y'all? Alright, so what are we getting into today? Alright, so today we're about to be going to SAC. We got a few things to be doing out there. Kind of today's more like a little update and everything. But a question I want to address real quick that everyone seems to always want to ask me, and it's, what do I have against Coyote Motors? Why don't I Coyote swap something? What is my problem with the almighty 5.0 from the Yoti? If you watched the last video, you guys know that we now have 3 notchback Mustangs, aka the old school classic 5.0. Before we talk about why I haven't Coyote swapped any of my notches, let's just start with the obvious, the first one. This was my very first car and my first notch build right here. And you guys know that I ended up keeping this thing all original, 306, and doing the turbo setup. This thing has been solid. I love it. This car was originally supposed to be LS3 swapped, but when I started getting into it, found that the motor was still good after 16 years of sitting. It's still been running. And in here, you guys probably can't see, this thing has dog tags. So this is an original old school CHP. It's a 1990 25th year anniversary. So that's why this car stayed forward, and I ditched the LS3 idea and stayed forward in here. So when it came to my notchback journey, this is pretty much where it started at. This thing was a shell. Anybody that's been following, you guys know this thing was horrible. No interior, nothing. It was just pretty much a rolling shell that turned into this beautiful monstrosity of a machine that you guys see right here. This is pretty much my OEM plus styling, I guess you can say. Everything's like tasteful, just some side skirts. It has a rear diffuser and a front lip. Nothing outrageous on here, just a tasteful, clean, simple notchback. You know what I'm saying? JDM style wheels, aggressive fitment, full Maximum Motorsport catalog on here. Field coilovers, stage 2 angle kit, Cobra brakes, pretty much all the basic cool shit that anybody with a Fox that's going to make a Fox to where it's like, all right, this thing's gonna handle good, it's gonna drive good. That was what was done on here. So since y'all have the basic little gist of that, let's get into coupe number 2. Hold on, before you start fast forwarding to the reason on why I didn't get to the Coyote, let me cook, feel me? Let me cook my way to this. So let's jump into my second notchback, which would be the Mustang, which is probably my favorite notch that I'm doing currently at this moment, which is basically the aggressive wide body version of this car, or what this car was supposed to be before I found out, you know, it was like a cool CHP limited edition type shit. And then, yeah, then that's how we got to the Mustang. So yeah, let's jump to the Mustang. All right, we just getting here to the body shop. Show y'all. So here we go, Mustang number 2, which is the second notchback. Again, this was the notchback that I ended up buying that was supposed to be going LS3, since the first one didn't go LS3. And then here it is, bam. Ended up staying 5.0. It's probably all covered up, y'all ain't gonna be able to see it. But yeah, supercharged 5.0, partnership with Vortec. So, you know what I'm saying, this thing ended up staying with a supercharged setup. This is pretty much going to be the full drift car currently at the body shop. I've owned this thing just about a year now. This thing was a fucking bucket when I picked it up. And, you know, no one ever thought it was gonna end up being this clean. So you can see we got the custom wide body setup going. My man's right here been knocking this thing out, damn near ready for paint. So wide body, originally this was all caved in. This was extremely boo. These were chopped to hell and looked like they had like Godzilla and King Kong nobbling on them. So So just like the green car, this one has all the Maximum Motorsport stuff. It's dusty and I'm not getting under there, but this car has the torque arm, panhard bar, no front or rear sway bars. It has a stage 3 angle kit, which has wild angle. This car runs a little bit wider wheels. These are 18 by 11s, 18 by 9s. This car has a full kit, currently not on, but we are doing the full Cervini Saline style kit. Cervini hood, we'll have their Cervini Saline style side skirts, OEM bumper with the Saline front lip on it. So, you know, this is a full restoration. When I originally had got this one, I was looking for a 4-ride. I really wanted a 4-ride coupe, but this popped up. I think I paid $4,500 for this. It already had the 5.0 in it. My witness right here, this was supposed to be a wide body 4-ride. And then it just came to a regular one.
About it like a few months even after or before the green one was done. You wanted a 4i wide body.
Yep.
The same plan, same motor, strictly for drift.
It was supposed to be an LS.
Yep,
LS3. We even talked about converting this over to a 4i.
Yep.
This is gonna get turned into a 4i. Even after I had got this, I was saying like, bro, I really want a 4-ride. I want a 4-ride. I had been looking, and then we came back to the latest and the newest, which is the last one, which made notchback number 3, which made the 4i. All right, and then here we are with coupe number 3, which should be, I think, my final rendition on building a Fox body coupe. So people are wondering, why did I choose not to go with a Coyote swap on here? Why am I doing an LS swap? What do I have against Coyote swaps? And the answer itself is very simple. I honestly don't have anything against Coyote motors, like, at all. I think they're fantastic motors. They sound sick. They make great power on boost. And the reason why I chose not to Coyote swap any of my notches is for the simple answer of they are extremely big motors. They're quad cam motors, modular, whatever you want to call them, and they are fucking big. Like, they take up a lot of space in the Fox. Everybody that I've seen that's had a Fox body with the Coyote swap, one thing I always ask them is, how do you change your plugs? And the answer is always, oh, bruh, ooh. Like, they always do some cringy noise. I'm like, it is a pain in the ass. And from a standpoint of keeping, so for me, I don't want to be dropping the K member or having to drop the K member to do spark plugs. Like, I just don't. People always be like, whoa, how often are you actually changing your spark plugs? When you're on E85, you actually change your spark plugs a lot. And that not even being the main thing. People were saying, oh, if you get a Coyote and boost it, if I did a Coyote, it would have to be a top mount supercharger, aka root style. And the simple reason being is because if you had to get to the exhaust manifold gasket, let's say a gasket blows out or something, you ain't doing that shit with it in the car. It's gonna be a pain in the ass. You're not gonna be dropping exhaust manifold. You're not gonna be able to get to the bolts. You're not gonna be able to get the headers back enough to get the new gasket on. Like, it would be a pain in the ass to drop a turbo Coyote setup in here, just because of how tight it is to the frame rails. Regardless, if you chop this all out, you move it, you shave the engine bay, the Coyote is still a big motor, and it just takes up so much room. Granted, they sound good, they're reliable, but I just think power bang for buck, LS is just so much cheaper, and it just makes power all day long. The setup has been proven. On top of that, with this car, I do plan on doing some road racing. I was saying that I was gonna build this into a drag car, but you know, after talking to my boy Lex, this man has been bugging me for like the last 2 years to build a time attack car. That way I can hit the track with him. We can do some Sonoma events, a bunch of those road race sanctions, and just literally get more seat time, man. I feel like getting seat time with grip events will definitely help my drifting, and I feel like road racing will help me just become faster when getting from A to B while trying to drift. So that's why I want to build this car into a full time attack car. Anybody that knows Fox bodies, man, you know these things are super light. Maximum Motorsport has a suspension catalog, and I feel like I already kind of know the recipe. I feel like setting up a drift car and a grip car is similar. Only thing that's really going to change is how much grip you really want based on tire pressure or tire compound, which you know, my green coupe set up like a road race car, has all the Maxim Motorsport stuff, and that car slides hella good. Y'all seen that proven already. The Mustang has also Maxim Motorsport catalog with a little bit different setup, and that car is definitely gonna slide like crazy. So for this, I've already ordered it. So I have all the Maxim Motorsport suspension setup. It's gonna be essentially the same as a Mustang, but I'm doing all the heavy duty stuff from Maxim this time. I'm going to be keeping the front and rear sway bars, whereas the Mustang, it does not have front or rear sway bars. We opted to delete those for a drift car, but I think for the road race stuff I want to do, we're going to keep the front and rear sway bars on here with the panhard bar, torque arm, have the heavy duty lower control arms from Maxima. I'm going to be having their front control arms, stage 2 angle kit. I'm going to be doing field coilovers, valved, you know, for road racing and gripping. So the suspension is going to be a little set up a little bit different. I'm probably going to do Cobra disc brakes all the way around, same as the Mustang. And then when it comes to gearing, I'm probably going to be doing an 8.8 rear end, possibly maybe do 273s, because this car, since it will be a LS3 car, at first I was going to build it into a drag car. I was going to go crazy, make it turbo and everything, but instead, for road racing, I'm gonna keep this thing a reliable, solid NA LS3. So I'll probably do a similar setup to my LS3 G35, which would basically consist of the right cam, intake manifold, E85 like flex fuel setup, blah blah blah. Should make about 500, and I feel like that will be perfect for road racing this car. Once it's all said and done, this car will probably be 2,700 pounds or so. Still trying to debate how do I want to do this, because this thing does have pretty clean interior, so I don't want to change it up too much. Maybe just put some bucket seats in here, that way I'm not rolling around or something. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, that's why I didn't do a Coyote, man. It has nothing to do with I hate the motor, I don't like the way they sound or anything like that. It's just in a Fox body, they're just so fucking big to where it's a pain in the ass to work on. And then a lot of people were like, well, why don't you put a Coyote motor into the 6.4? Bruh, the 6.4 has a smaller engine bay than the Fox body. These shock towers and everything are crazy close, but on mine they did end up doing the Fox stuff. I just don't want to be the one to gamble and figure out like, hey, the Coyote don't fit in here. I could possibly do a Coyote swap. I mean, pretty sure it would work. I don't know. I'm not against that. Maybe I'll look into it more, possibly Coyote swapping this. I thought about doing the Godzilla. I'm still all over the place on what I want to do with the 6.4. We'll see what we end up doing, but yeah, man, that's literally the shortest explanation on why I haven't done a Coyote swap in this car. For everybody that's gonna be arguing, well, Coyote is so much of a better motor. I don't care, man. At an 800 horsepower Go, I feel like it's easier to get an LS to that level than it is to do a Coyote, and it's cheaper. Like, I'm not going to argue back and forth on which motor is better, because I'm not loyal to any brand, any motor. It would make no sense to Coyote swap this car, especially if I'm trying to make something to where I'm road racing and I want to get around the track and keep weight down, because the Coyote, honestly, it weighs more than the LS. It's going to make the front heavy, all that. You can correct that with springs and all that shit, but still overall going to make the front of the car heavier. So if I was a Coyote swap something, it will probably have to be more so this one, because I'm not road racing or doing anything with this. This is like a straight line drive around car, which maybe this one could get Coyote. A little boosted Coyote in here probably would be sick. I don't know. Y'all, if you know me, you know I change plans all the time. All right, what's good, my peeps? A few hours went by, and it's, I want to say, damn near 12 a.m. right now. If you're still here this far, definitely been a long day, and literally the plans have changed again, but I think I've officially came up with a game plan. I'm not gonna tell y'all exactly what I'm about to be doing, but I'm about to be doing something that I promise is gonna make y'all extremely happy. I've already been ordering parts for this thing. This is gonna be crazy. I think this is gonna be my craziest curveball to date. I'm not gonna say what it is yet. I'll make the announcement on what's about to go down, but just know that motor configurations are going to be changing. Let's just say that. But also, as far as the new 86 goes, one thing that does suck is, you guys see it has that stupid dent on the driver's side fender, or the passenger side fender. And I thought, oh, maybe we can get this thing to pop out. Turns out that none of the people that do that dent removal stuff, you know, they do it with the reflection. It seems like no one can get this freaking dent out because it doesn't have paint or gloss on it, and I guess they need the reflection to be able to pull it out, which sucks. And if I go and put Bondo or body filler or whatever over it, it really does take away from the patina look that I want to do. So I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna go about that, but I did order all the suspension. I think everything's on the way for that thing. Oh yeah, I ordered a freaking wide body for the 86 just in case I decide to do the wide body. It's not like any of the wide bodies that I've already done on there. The Swangstain has the flares that we molded in and made that wide body setup. Whereas this one is the Meyer Racing style wide body that looks a bit more OEM. It kind of follows the factory body lines, but it does, you know, bow it out. So if y'all want to Google it and see what the Meyer Racing's 4Ride wide body kit looks like, y'all can go check that out. Yeah, man, literally a couple hours went by and plans have changed like crazy. But I've officially picked what motor is gonna be going in, you know, one of these cars, y'all. I'm not gonna say which car, but configurations are changing and it is gonna be a curveball, but I think y'all are gonna love this. So with all that being said, I'm about to go in here, I'm about to edit. We'll probably finish this video at like 2 a.m. in the morning. So hopefully you guys are gonna be excited for what's gonna be coming, man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thank y'all for watching. Appreciate y'all greatly, man. Until next time, tomorrow's video, G35's coming home.